Jewish DNA, Ashkenazi, Sephardi, and beyond. Submission ID 129239. I'm Shelley Talalai Dardashti, a journalist and genealogist, and I am the U.S. Genealogy Advisor for MyHeritage.com. As an intro, I have written for most of the major genealogy magazines, General and Jewish, the NGS Quarterly, Family Tree Magazine, and I was the genealogy columnist for the Jerusalem Post. I've received awards. I was the pioneer Jewish genealogy blogger of Tracing the Tribe, which is now on Facebook with 15,000 plus global members. DNA interest includes the founding and co-administrating of the Iberian Ashkenazi DNA project that confirms Sephardic origin of numerous Eastern European Ashkenazi families, and the new Jewish Persian DNA project. I'm a board member of the Society for Crypto-Judaic Studies, on the steering committee for the Sandoval County, New Mexico Genealogical Society, and president of the Jewish Genealogical Society of New Mexico. I'm passionate about DNA because I believe it is the best tool that genealogists have had in recent years. While not a replacement for traditional genealogy, it's the flip side of traditional genealogy. Some genealogists have been saying for years that DNA is too complicated for newcomers and that they really should focus on traditional genealogy. My opinion is totally opposite. I believe that everyone should do DNA testing as soon as they can, even before they put down names on a piece of paper. Finding a DNA match with someone who has done all the work can literally save you 20 years of traditional research. I also advocate testing as soon as possible to get all your senior relatives tested before you lose them. Make sure you get the eldest relatives tested and into the database. And once you get your results, upload those results everywhere possible, because you never know where an unknown family, unknown relative has tested. With the advent of DNA tools for estimating ethnic origins, we now have much better ways of talking about and researching Jewish DNA, which covers Ashkenazi, Eastern European, Sephardic Jews from Iberia and the Mediterranean, and beyond, including the Mizrahi Jews, which are the Eastern communities in the Middle East and further east. What we do is, in order to work with DNA, Jewish DNA, you really need to know how these communities and categories matter when you're determining estimated origins. What are the basic distinctions? How did they develop? What do they mean today? Understanding Jewish DNA in general provides you with the historical and geographical importance of all of these communities. And you get a much better view of what the entire field means and how it can help you. Additionally, today, at some websites, including Family Tree DNA, there are many specialized projects for, in addition to surnames, but also communities and countries and ethnic categories. The session will also view the challenges of what is called by too many today as Ashkenazi endogamy. While Jewish communities around the world are endogamous, which means they practice cousin marriage and in some cases uncle-niece marriage, this is typical of all Jewish communities. And I guess I get really upset when many genetic genealogists only talk about Ashkenazi endogamy. It is a misnomer because it is done in every community around the world. We'll also cover in this session fascinating and surprising discoveries that we've learned from combining autosomal DNA as well as the Y for the male and mitochondrial for the women. I believe that the attendees will understand the history involved in determining various Jewish DNA categories and the importance of these differences. Following the session, I believe that attendees will be able to investigate their DNA categories and estimates much more thoroughly and use additional analysis tools found on some websites to learn more about their personal origins. And going back, I guess, to the teaching unit, one of the things that I will be spending time on is to dispel that misnomer of Ashkenazi endogamy. Most people do that because they really don't understand that there are other Jewish categories out there. It's not all Ashkenazi Eastern European Jews. Ashkenazi endogamy just means Jewish endogamy. Throughout history, Jews have married within their communities, and cousin marriage was the preferred form of marriage. While Ashkenazi generally stopped doing this consciously when they migrated to the United States, where there are laws concerning the allowable degree of marriage between cousins, the Sephardic and Mizrahi communities have continued to consciously marry within families. In the Mizrahi community, which I know in great detail, it was also protection for the bride. A girl's aunt was less likely to abuse her new daughter-in-law if the girl was also her niece. Genealogists and genetic genealogists in particular, as well as those just beginning their quest in genealogy, must understand that Jewish genealogy is a big tent with many communities. It is not only Ashkenazi genealogy, but also Sephardic, Mizrahi, and other communities as well, including Ethiopian, Yemenite, and even Jews in Sicily and in Italy, especially the Jews of Rome who have been there for 2,000 years. So it can be complex, but it can also be rather simple when one understands it. Thank you.